you wrote this book. Why? What is the purpose of the thing?
Well, Jason and my purpose was to demonstrate essentially that throughout his career, Michael Moore has made a livelihood off distorting facts, character assassination of his enemies, and essentially spinning completely separate from the truth, manipulating the truth whenever it was necessary to tell a story or attack his enemies.
All right. Now, are you a conservative guy?
On most things, I'm fairly conservative, registered libertarian by way of party.
And you don't like Moore because you just think he's a propagandist?
Yes, I think that would be
All right. How about you, Mr. Clark?
Well, I'm a registered Republican, but I'm certainly not a party line voter, and in fact, my opposition to Moore really has very little to do with politics at all. It's really with his methods and with his message, primarily.
Now, we'll be more specific now. His methods and message, what is it that you object to?
Well, like David said, Moore has more than a 15-year record of inaccuracy and distortion in his films and in his books, and so I think when you have someone with the influence that Moore has and with the reach that Moore has, and as he becomes more and more popular, I think it really bears taking a very in-depth look at the way that he presents his message and the things that he does. So, you know, that's primarily what I'm most concerned with.
Okay, now, Mr. Hardy, it has been said of me, and I'm on the air 3 hours a day, okay, 1 hour on TV, 2 hour on the radio, and the far left has basically recorded everything I've said, and then they cut and paste. You know, they take a thing here, a thing there, O'Reilly's a liar, It's easy to do that with a guy like Moore. He's made a number of movies, he's written a number of books. Can't you cut and paste? I mean, couldn't you show that he's a liar no matter what?
Well, we go down how he uses that technique himself.
Yeah, but I don't want you to do what he does.
No, we don't. I think we put it all
flat out honest here.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing that Moore did in your research of the book, Mr. Hardy, that shocked you saying he wasn't an honest guy?
I would say it was what he did with Charlton Heston with regard to the 2000 NRA convention.
Which was? Describe it.
Well, what he does is that the fact of the matter is that the convention was scheduled years in advance in Denver, not long after the Columbine shootings happened to occur. At that point, it was legally too late to change the date and place. I mean, they were inside the statutory time window for changing it.
Right, so they didn't exploit the tragedy. They couldn't change it.
Yeah.
All right, he doesn't point that out.
And they canceled everything at the meeting except for the one voting meeting of the members, which is required by law. Now, Moore takes it and changes it so it spins Columbine happened and then Heston and the NRA rushed to Denver.
There, right.
Yeah. What's more, he edits Heston's speech. You see Heston's face speaking to you, and then you go to a pan shot of the crowd while his voice continues. He cut out of there the paragraphs where Heston said, we've canceled the dinners, we've canceled the rallies, we've canceled the festivities. He does several other audio edits to Heston's speech and splices sentences together to make them sound angry and defiant, when in fact Heston wasn't giving that type of speech at all.
That's terrible to hear that. But you're positive he did that?
Yes.
You have the proof?
We have the transcripts. In the book, we give references to the transcripts of the real speech and a transcript of how Moore butchers it.
All right. How about you, Mr.
I think the government has more than enough power.
So he does say some honest things, then?
Yeah. The problem is they become so interspersed with everything else. The other problem with Moore is, frankly, that as a propagandist, he's writing propaganda for the wrong side. I would point out that Hezbollah or linked organizations in the Mideast.
Yeah, they want to distribute his movie. And guess, do you know, Mr. Clark, where his movie was played on nationwide TV in what country? Do you know?
Yes, it was actually played on Cuban national television.
Very good. Cuba, Fidel Castro. Not a lot of people know that. Played. So look, we know what he's going. Now, my read of Moore, and we had him on last week, as everybody knows, is this. He's a true believer. He wants a socialist America, wants to change society, and the ends justify the means. Isn't that what this is all about, Mr. Hardy?
Well, that's his political agenda. I think there's also a personal agenda, which we explore in an entire chapter of the book.